What's up, everybody? Hey, Tom Laird here, host of the Advice from a Call Center Geek podcast and founder of Expivia. For exceptional contact center outsourcing, trust Expivia. We're fully AI-driven, as all of you know, and can handle voice, email, chat, and all of your digital channels. Our 600-seat USA contact center is expert in healthcare, financial services, insurance, tech support, retail, and more. Experts on the NICE CX1 platform, we ensure seamless customer experiences. DM me or visit expiviausa.com for more.
This is Advice from a Call Center Geek, a weekly podcast with a focus on all things call center. We'll cover it all from call center operations, hiring, culture, technology, and education. We're here to give you actionable items to improve the quality of yours and your customers' experience. This is an evolving industry with creative minds and ambitious people like this guy. Not only is his passion call center operations, but he's our host. He's the CEO of Expivia Interaction Marketing Group and the Call Center Geek himself, Tom Laird.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Advice from a Call Center Geek, the call center contact center podcast. We try to give you some actionable items to take back in your contact center, improve the overall quality, improve the agent experience, improve your customer experience as well. My name is Tom Laird. I am the CEO of Expivia Interaction Marketing. Expivia is a rapidly growing contact center outsourcer working for lots of different clients, dealing with their customer support, located here in northwestern PA. I have a little cold, so it's not a bad mic. It's not your volume. If I sound a little nasally here, I apologize, guys. Excited about this episode. I'm excited about a lot of the episodes that we do, but this is kind of a new wheelhouse of things that have really been interesting to me. So we've had a couple, industry leaders in AI, conversational AI, when it comes to customer experience in the contact center. If you've not checked those episodes out, they're phenomenal. Make sure that you do. But I want to look even further down the road. One of my main jobs at Expivia is to help position the organization for the future. That's why when we started Expivia, we didn't say we're Expivia Call Center, right? We said Expivia Interaction Marketing because we knew that there's going to be lots of different interactions and lots of different things that we can't even foresee now as we're starting here in, back in 2009, 2010, that are going to be mainstream in the coming years. And we want to be an organization that kind of sees that. So I want to talk to you guys about some of the things that I'm thinking about and some of the ways that I'm positioning the organization to see where customer experience is possibly going, where the technology is possibly going. I don't know if this is 5 to 10 years down the road. Some of this is going to be sooner. Some of that might be a little bit further down, but this is kind of an episode that is, I guess, kind of everything I've been doing from a brainstorming standpoint, kind of getting ready and positioning ourselves from a strategic standpoint for 2022 when we talk about some of the technologies that we're going to look at. And one of the things that we're going to be doing, and I probably shouldn't even announce it, I'm probably going to get yelled at by everybody here because it's not ready yet. We are really looking at Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, the Discord server is basically, it's the community manager or IMing tool for all the gamers out there. And it's also turned into the number one and really the only space right now that if you're starting an NFT project, you're going to Discord. And what I have seen, as you guys know, I'm huge into the NFT space, into the crypto space, and more into the NFT space than really even the crypto and trading currency. I think that there's just so much, going on with NFTs. But the one thing that I have seen is a lack of support in these communities, right? And these communities can be pretty big. I mean, there can be 30 to 50,000 people, right? And maybe they've purchased NFTs from this project and there's issues with them, or, maybe one's not showing up on a wallet. And it can be very frustrating because, let's be honest, a lot of these projects are started with, young, really smart people that maybe have not thought out the full customer journey, customer experience yet. They're not really running this as a business. And I think as we go, that's going to change. And so we're trying to position Expivia. We're going to call out just Expivia Digital. And we're going to look at partnering with lots of different NFT projects to handle their full-time moderation, right? So having content moderation, and that can be as easy as basically it's like a chat for us. but then to offer some things that these guys can't, from voice, from SMS to, imagine having I know for those of you who've never been on Discord, you're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? But for those of you that there's very little when it comes to voice, right? Now you can have like a clubhouse, right, where you can kind of talk to a group, and that's fine. That can be done there. But having one-on-one voice as well is something I think that we can offer SMS texting. But anyway, Discord, I think, is something that you're going to see. Maybe not in every industry, but something that we're going to kind of position ourselves to be able to start to handle. The other thing is, I don't know if you guys have seen, but it's 10/21 in 2001 as I'm recording this. And it was either yesterday or the day before, Facebook just announced that they are changing their name. That's a huge, huge thing, right? Because by Facebook changing their name, it's not just changing their name, it's changing their entire business model. They understand that, they started as a social media platform. They see that, the people using their platform is dropping, that the younger generation, is kind of moving to other things like TikTok and Snapchat and those types of things. But they also see a huge opportunity in the future technologies of virtual reality and taking that to the next step into the Metaverse. And the Metaverse is just kind of a generic name for a kind of online worlds, right? Where you can create communities, where you can create stores, where you can create, land that people can buy digitally. And this really ties into the whole NFT space. This then also ties into the Oculus and ties into virtual reality, so that people can actually be walking and interacting throughout these worlds. Facebook sees that as the next huge thing. I think that they're right. We are still trying and we're working. It's kind of been pushed back because of COVID and some of the things that, we've had to do here from a client standpoint that have took priority, but we are still going to be trying in 2022 to create a virtual reality contact center with 5 or 6 agents that customers can come in, interact with, kind of sit at a desk while they're at their home and work that through. And I think Facebook has taken that to times 10, but you're going to start to see that. And this is going to affect every single industry from financial services, especially retail. If retail, I think that's going to be a huge disruptor in that space. I think from customer service and call centers and things that I work on, a huge disruptor in my space. And it's one of the main things that I really want to try to position, because not only do I think it's fun and interesting, but I think that there's a huge shift towards more online. Think about your kids. Think about your teens. Think about your 5-year-old or your 6-year-old. A lot of them are online a lot. They're playing games like Roblox. They're playing games in these digital worlds. So we got to start to account for what is the norm for them. I remember going to college and people were still, this was like 1996, and people were calling it the World Wide Web, right? They didn't even say the internet. And it was basically, this is how you dial up to the World Wide Web. And we saw like the first the first web pages and kind of we're using the Netscape browser, right? So I wasn't used to that in my generation, but my kids, your kids are all used to it. Maybe you are used to it. Maybe you're in that generation too. And the technology isn't going to stop. It's going to continue to move, and these guys are going to gravitate towards it. And as they become adults, as they start having, money to spend, this is some of the places that they're going to do it. I don't want to pontificate on this too much, but, I really, really see a huge shift in where wealth is going to be, where people are going to be investing their capital. My kids, maybe for me and definitely for my parents, it was, go to college, try to get a good job, have a 401k. Maybe you invest in property or an apartment or real estate, right? Things that are pretty conservative. These kids are now either going to go to college, or they're just going to learn how to program. Not everybody, but this kind of track, right? And when they have money to invest, they're going to start to invest it in NFTs, in businesses that are online, the real estate, the stock market. That's still going to be an avenue, right? But now there's going to be another player, And there's going to be a lot of wealth that's put into virtual reality, into these worlds, into NFTs that have not even been thought of. So again, start to think about that even from a personal standpoint. Start to think about that from your organization. I'm not saying you go out right now and you do anything crazy, but just keep it in the back of your mind when you start to see things. Don't bury your head in the sand. Maybe slowly work towards something that is moving towards that world of trying to interact more online than I don't want to say in real life, but kinda. It's gonna be interesting. The other thing is, you've heard me say this 400 times, so I don't want to take too long on it, but NFTs are going to change how all of you and how I do business from a smart contract standpoint. Forget the whole, they're just JPEGs of pictures of animals. Think about the utility that's behind them, the utility in the smart contract, how organizations like, for example, an electric company can create a smart contract with all of their customers that, if they don't make it out to their house in 2 weeks or let's say in 2 hours, right, to fix their electric, that the smart contract says that they get 15% off their bill, right? All that can be written into a smart contract. No human being is going to have to do that or actually have to facilitate it. The program is going to deal with it. Again, you've heard me use the example of tickets to games, right? And you will see this starting next year, where you're going to buy a ticket to a football game, a baseball game, a basketball game. It's going to be an actual NFT. And let's say there's a no-hitter, or your team wins a playoff game. You're going to be able to sell that ticket, that digital ticket, which is that digital NFT, for money. The team's going to get a kickback on a percentage of that as well. That's money that teams see, and that's happening now. So NFTs are a huge thing that you're going to need to think about to start to incorporate, which means that you need to start to incorporate or think about crypto. There's many NFTs that still can be purchased with fiat, right, with cash. But from Bitcoin to Ethereum to Solana, there's a couple real big players, especially Ethereum right now, in that space. For our Expivia Digital, we are going to collect or have the option to be paid in Ethereum and be paid in Bitcoin. I think Ethereum will probably be a little bit more in the NFT space, but we're definitely going to start accepting crypto. If there's any clients, especially in this kind of Discord, in this digital space, that's kind of what we see. And kind of getting back to the whole Oculus and the virtual reality, there's also going to be a huge push for augmented reality. And I think you've seen that a ton already, and a lot of the apps that organizations are coming out with, especially, things like furniture companies and Lowe's and hardware organizations that can kind of show you different things that you can put on your wall. If you hang this picture, if you hang this shelf, what the couch looks like in your room, that's going to go times 10 here, as we move forward into different operations and organizations with it. I think that's going to have a huge impact in what customer experience and customer support, probably even more quickly than virtual reality, the augmented reality of you being able to kind of show a customer how to fix something, how you can how they'll be able to move their phone over the broken toy wheel and directions will come out instantly on how to fix that. I think it's kind of like a YouTube on steroids when it comes to customer support. So I think that's another huge piece of where we are. So it's kind of exciting stuff. It's kind of scary if you're, maybe of the, a generation that wasn't used to this, and it's coming super fast. The Facebook name change should be the eye opener for all of us, that this digital space is not going away. I mean, that is one of the largest organizations in the world, and they are pivoting and doing a 180 on basically their entire business model and throwing all their eggs into this augmented reality, virtual reality, metaverse concept of where things are going, where kids are going, where organizations and products are going as well. So again, don't keep your head in the sand. Don't make huge rational changes, but start thinking about this stuff. Have these conversations. have these conversations with customers as well. There's going to be a lot of disruption. I think me as a smaller call center, 500 to 600 seats in the contact center world is, I'm just a boutique mid-tier player, right? But if I can hit on some of these, which I'm trying to do, if I can hit on being the customer support center for Discord for all NFT projects, like there's no reason I can't, right? I can become a major player very quickly. And I think if you are a major player now, you need to understand that there's going to be so much disruption by people who are very nimble and agile that you need to make sure that you understand that. And if you are one of those smaller people and those smaller organizations, there's no excuse for you not to try to innovate as much as you possibly can to make the changes and to do some things that are totally disruptive because the technology is there. It's just now having the guts and really the know-how to kind of execute through that. But it's going to be an exciting time, and it's an exciting space. Your customer experience overall has always been, it moved from a very stoic to a very high-tech operation very quickly. And now I think it's moving into almost the point of leading the charge here into the next generation of almost customer service 3.0. You heard of Web 3.0. I think it's almost CX 3.0 as well. So again, I don't know if that's scary for you, if that's cool, but it's something that's very interesting to me, something that I'm constantly trying to think about, trying to position ourselves in the right light to make sure that we don't get left behind. And I know we've been doing really well in our legacy business, and excited to try to be a little bit disruptive here too. All right, guys, thank you. I appreciate it. Again, we have a bunch of stuff on the social side. Please join our LinkedIn call center tips and tactics. Follow me on LinkedIn. I've been doing I don't know if you've seen it, but we've been doing scenarios. I bumped to 5 scenarios where we're just talking about different operational things that actually happen in your contact center, and we're getting feedback from the community on how they would fix that, or how they would handle, a rep that keeps, leaving for break and not telling their supervisor, somebody who keeps going, who's work from home and keeps going, over lunch. Those types of situations that actually come up in the contact center. So make sure you follow me there as well. I'll talk to all you guys next week. Thank you for listening. And hey, if you get a chance, love to see a couple more reviews on iTunes. That would be great. Thank you.